I'm very glad and happy we have two next presentations on the more tangible side of the issue, the direct consequences for the communities. There are consequences of mining in the communities on the field with two case studies from South Africa and Burkina Faso. My name is Hafid Derbal. I'm a program coordinator for South Africa and Zimbabwe for Terre, Schweiz here in Basel. We work a lot around gender-based violence and sexual reproductive health and rights with youth in the respective in Zimbabwe and South Africa. And just to have a link to what we are doing here, when we talk mining and working opportunities, we talk about local migration, we talk about national migration, we talk about transnational migration. And to give a link about what we have discussed so far during, well, yesterday evening, but also this morning, when we talk about salaries, or yesterday we talked about fair extractivism and progressive extractivism, and if we reduce that to salaries, knowing that salaries or money brought into a certain community, to certain parts, to certain actors, just fuels inequalities that is existing there already. So if you think about more concretely, young men having money, being able to spend that money, being able to use that money also to seduce young girls, which is a common and a real factor in the communities we work in. It's also something we have to think about. What means just and or fair or progressive extractivism? And then a very important question that is being with me in all my work, but also during the 2 days. We have a metabolic rift. We have a big rift between what's being produced, the consequences or the costs of our consumerism as actors here. The costs are not being seen. They are somewhere there. And the costs are very hard to measure. So the basic question is, how do we make those costs visible for the public? Because this is kind of, it's also very important work or commitment we can all contribute to. Referring to what Melanie Müller said yesterday, I'm not sure that consumers can really make the difference. So we have to think about that question too. Who can make a difference here? First speaker is, I'm very happy to welcome Caroline Talpani. Caroline, as you see in the presentation here, will just add to it, so you are welcome to read it as well. But she has been for almost a decade an activist around environmental issues, around human rights issues, gender issues, and she's now working for women in Johannesburg, South Africa. It's not an abbreviation, but it's important to know what it stands for. It stands for African Women Unite Against Destructive Resource Extraction. Okay, just to have that in mind. The floor is yours. Thank you.